Okay, Missionary Tim Turner here, back for lesson 2 of basic Swahili. Again, these videos are not flashy, you won't see cool graphics. In fact, you really need this book, the Swahili, the complete course for beginners, Colloquial Swahili, in order to follow along. Today, lesson 2, I want to start getting into the alphabet and touching a little bit on pronunciation. Knowing the alphabet and knowing basic pronunciation is really important before we really begin learning words and vocabulary and how to speak, because we want to speak good Swahili that is understandable. We don't want to speak Swahili with such a strong English accent that we cannot be understood. And so the first is to talk through the alphabet. Before we actually talk through the alphabet of Swahili, we need to talk about something important to the Swahili language. Notice when I'm referring to Swahili, I call it Swahili. But in Swahili, the language is called Kiswahili. Now think about it this way. In English, we say Spanish, but in Spanish, we say Espanol. So Swahili in English is Swahili. Swahili in Swahili is Kiswahili. This is a common misnomer in some places of America where some people think Swahili is different from Kiswahili. No, it is the same language. It's just which language we are using to reference the language. So now we begin with the Swahili alphabet. I'm currently teaching in English, so I will call it Swahili. Sounds in Swahili depend on vowels. Vowels are where the sounds come from. Without a vowel, a consonant cannot say its sound. And so if we look at the Swahili alphabet, you will see very similar vowels to English vowels. Now, the word vowels in Swahili is irabu, 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 irabu. That's the word for vowels. Um, the first vowel is ah, ah. Ah says the sound like father, or odd, ah. It's always the same. So some Swahili words that give this example are basi, tabu. Now I'm stressing the so you hear it. Ah, ah. Another vowel is eh, which is looks like the English e, but eh, eh. This is similar to uh, bet, eh, bet, um, or in Swahili, kuleta, eta, kujenga, eh, eh. The e, eh, always says that eh sound and never makes the e sound like we see in English. Now, coming to the e sound, that's what we in English know as I. But in Swahili, it is e, e. It makes a similar sound to eat, eat. Now, in Swahili, one word is vita, war, vita. Or a familiar word to you, rafiki, rafiki, e. The I, which is e in Swahili, always makes the e sound. Another vowel is what we see in English as the O, but it's O, O. So think of boat, O, bot, bo, boat. So in Swahili, mtoto, ng'ombe, O, O, boat. So the O, always says O, never says O, says O. The last vowel is U, which is the English you, but it never says you, and it never says up. It always says oo, oo, kind of like two or took, two. So in Swahili, kurusu, kurusu, oo, oo. Those are the vowels, and you have to have a vowel to make a sound. And so when we look at our page 7 of colloquial Swahili, we can talk through the alphabet now that we have our vowels. So what begins in, it looks like in English, the A on the bottom of 7. We will say the alphabet together. A, A, salama, salama, A, ba, ba, baba. Sometimes the B is said as be, ba. Now the CH, Swahili never uses C to say ka. C is the ka sound is always from the K, from the ka. The CH sound is familiar though. So cha, cha, that letter combined C and H, it's a letter, and we say cha, chache, chache. The next letter, da, da. Notice it's not D, it's da, 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 da. Now the DH together is a letter sound in Swahili, and it sounds like a TH in English, the, but it's not hard. It's not the or the. It's the, the, the. It's kind of softer. I put my tongue right here. Da, 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 da. Tambi, tambi, or tarabu, tarabu. And the DH together always says da, da. It never says da. It doesn't say daha. It says da, da. It's like a light TH. Next is e, e. Looks like the English E. Endelea, endelea, endelea. Next is fa, fa, fanya, fanya. Ga, ga, goli, goli, ga. Now the GH is interesting. In some language books, you will hear it, a GH, as being a very strong guttural, like ka, ka. But I'll tell you, in Tanzania, I have never met somebody who does that GH very hard. It's usually much softer. It's like a ga, ga, a ga. In the back of the throat, you make the ga sound. So ga, 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 ga. It's a difficult sound to make for an English speaker. But if you think about just putting it in the back, ga, ga, ga. So one common word for this sound is gali, 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 or even luga, luga. So gali means expensive. Luga means languages. You can hear in a lot of common Swahili in Tanzania, it almost turns to a G, but that G is made in the back of the throat. Ga, gali, gali. So it is a hard sound to come by. The next on page 8, ha, ha. It looks like the English H. Habari, habari. Practice saying that with me. Habari, habari. We will soon get to the R or the Ra, and it's slightly rolled, kind of like Spanish. Habari, ha. Now, E. Notice it's not the letter E in English, but it looks like the letter I. It says E in Swahili. So a Swahili word beside it, vipi, vipi. Now, ja, ja is next. Looks like a J, ja. Gina, Gina. Gina lako ni nani? Your name is what? Your name is who? What is your name? Gina lako ni nani? The next letter, ka, ka. Kazi. The K here, which in Swahili is called ka, the ka always is the letter that makes the ka sound. So even when words come from English and they have that ka sound, if they are spelt with a K or a C in English, they would be spelled with a K in Swahili. So if I moved the word cat into Swahili, it wouldn't be cat, it would be caught, caught, because the letters are always the same, and it would be a K, A, T, ka, a, ta, ka, a, ta, caught. And that's not really a word in Swahili. The word for cat is paka. Uh, so, but you see the example here. Okay, we continue. The next letter is la, la la, kulala, umelalaje. How did you sleep? Umelalaje, la la. The next letter, mama, mama. Next, na, nzuri. Now, with the ma and the na, the m and the n, the ma and the na, Swahili has an interesting thing. Sometimes these letters are found at the beginning of words that are strange for English speakers because they form their own consonant pair. So you will constantly see nzuri. Notice the n, the na, has its own consonant shape. You don't say nzuri. You don't just flow from the n to the z. The n makes its own consonant. Nzuri. You see the same with the M found in other places. Mtoto, mtoto, that means child, mtoto. So you emphasize, you pause, you make that its own consonant. The M and the N, the ma and the na do that. Okay, now N, Y together, the letter sound is called nya, nya. It's one sound. Sometimes you will see these paired together and upwards of three letters together make one consonant sound. Nya, nya, nyota, nyota, nya, nya. Ny, nya, 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 nyota, nyota. NG with an apostrophe is very important and also another challenging letter for an English speaker. This sound is nyombe, nyombe. It's like you're almost swallowing a G, almost. We do this in English on one word well. Singer, singer, sing, sing. So say sing a few times and then pause. Sing, yeah, yeah. See where your tongue is at. Sing, yeah. Now put that at the beginning of the word. Nyombe, nyombe. Nyombe is the word for cow. Nyombe. If you can practice that sing, nyombe, then you will understand this letter. Nya, nya, nya. You almost swallow the G. Almost. It's just in the back on the roof of your mouth. Okay, next is O. O. It's a vowel. O. It looks like the letter O, but it never says O. It never says U. It always says O. Poa, poa, po, poa, poa. Mambo. O. Next, pa. Panda, panda, kupanda. Nataka kupanda Kilimanjaro. I want to climb Kilimanjaro. Next is ra, ra. Now notice I roll the R just a little bit. It's almost like a dental D. Ra, ra. By dental D, I mean I'm forming that by touching my tongue. I can't show you. Right here. Not at the very tip. Not touching my teeth. Not that. Or like this. Right there. Ara, ara. Now, if you speak Spanish or you know some form of Spanish, you're familiar with this. Ara, ara, ara. The R's are typically rolled. Now, they're not hard rolled. Ara, ara. But they do have a slight roll. Ara, ara. So, ruhusu, ruhusu, ruhusu. Not rahusu. Nope. Ruhusu, ruhusu, ruhusu. Practice that a little bit. Ara, ara. ra. Might come challenging at first, but it's not ruhusu, it's rahusu. If you need a little bit of help, do a soft D. Da, da, da. Don't do a hard D. Da. Don't do that. Da, da, da. And slowly move your tongue back. Da, 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 da. You'll get the R. Da. Okay, next is sa. Looks like the letter S. It's the letter sa. Sa in Swahili. Safari. Safari. Next, you see the SH together makes the sha letter sound. Sha. Shikamo. 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 Next is ta. Ta. Taxi. Taxi. See, that's comes from an English word, taxi, but look how it's spelled. Taxi. Taxi. Now next is the. DH. The. It's a little bit more forward than the DH. The. Tamanani. It's not a the. It's not the, the. It's just a little bit more forward than tarabu, tamanani. It's hard to tell the difference on a recording like this, but it's just ever so slight, a little bit more forward. U. It's the next letter. U looks like the U, but it never says never says U, it says U. Uhuru, uhuru. It always says U. Next is va, va, vumbi. Looks like a V, but it is called va. Next is wa, wewe, wa, ya, yai, 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 yai. Finally, za, zamani, zamani. Okay, let's go back through and say the alphabet together. You ready? A, ba, cha, da, da, e, fa, ga, ga, ha, I, ja, ka, la, ma, na, nya, nya, o, pa, ra, sa, sha, ta, ta, u, va, wa, ya, za. Excellent. I want to continue in the next lesson a little bit more on pronunciation before we jump into Unit 1.